What I love most about anime is its ability to tell a unique story, whether it's the mysteries of Gossip, the balls-to-wall action of My Hero Academia, or the romantic tale of Tsukigakure. It's no wonder why anime has grown in popularity, to the point that companies like Disney are looking to make their own anime projects. I'm saying all this because I want to talk about what may be the most popular genre in anime, isekai. In my opinion, the isekai genre is the most versatile genre in anime. Now I know even saying the word isekai can set some people off, including some members of this group. But allow me to try and change your mind. I want you to take a second and think about what you like most about the isekai genre. For me, it's the second chance aspect of it. Now, the isekai formula is pretty well known by now, and we can all set one up in a couple seconds. But for the uninitiated, let me explain. A person gets sent to another world, usually death via truck-kun, and lives out their life in said new world. Well, let me introduce you to the story of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Remember when I said, either way, I don't think I'm out of the woods yet, because I want to make a video like this one more time for Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. The first season of the show already aired earlier this year, and the second season is getting ready to come out here in a few weeks. Mushoku Tensei may literally be the father of all isekai, with its web novel being written all the way back in 2012. And the more I think about it, it may be my favorite anime of all time. Well, I was actually wrong. Mushoku Tensei is actually called the grandfather of all isekai, and as I mentioned before, it has a storied history. Mushoku Tensei was written by Ryufujin na Magonote. Sorry for the mispronunciation. And the web novel first appeared on the popular Japanese website Shosetsu back in 2012. And to this day, it still ranks as one of the most popular stories on the website. Now, this path is not unique to Mushoku Tensei, as many other popular isekais that we know today started off as web novels. It's crazy to think that back in 2012, isekais weren't even their own genre yet. But during this time, two things basically happened at the same time to make isekais as popular as they are today. Number one was the fact that the Mushoku Tensei web novel got massively popular soon after its debut. And number two was the fact that the Sword Art Online anime also became massively popular, garnering mainstream appeal and popularizing the transported to another world trope, which is running wild in the anime scene today, which only brought more eyes to Mushoku Tensei. A lot of people think Sword Art Online started the isekai genre, but that technically isn't true. The recognition belongs to Mushoku Tensei, and many of the isekai tropes that we know today were created in this story. However, without Sword Art Online getting as popular as it did, the isekai genre itself may not exist today. Maybe just hyperbole on my part, and as a byproduct, Mushoku Tensei may not be as influential as it is today. But that's enough setup. Let's talk about the story itself. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation tells the story of a 34-year-old shut-in NEET who dies and gets reincarnated as Rudius Greyrat with a new lease on life. However, this new life comes with its own challenges, and just because his old life is over, that doesn't mean he is truly free from it. What Mushoku Tensei does well is its world building, character progression, and the fact that it doesn't try to think outside the box. Mushoku Tensei stands out because it doesn't. Let me explain. The isekai genre is so oversaturated right now that every new isekai that enters the ether needs some kind of premise or gimmick to make it stand out. For example, the saga of Tanya the Evil. Now, what makes this particular show stand out from all the other isekais on the market? Its World War I style world, its ingenious use of magic, and most importantly, its main character, Tanya, who is absolutely terrible. In the interest of time, and my rampant laziness to properly tell you the story of Tanya, here's what I have for you instead. The premise of the saga of Tanya the Evil, wow, that's a mouthful, is this guy who gets killed by Truck-kun's cousin Train-kun and gets reincarnated by a petty pseudo Old Testament god as a literal grade school girl from pseudo pre-World War I Germany. This leads to a pseudo-Cold War of sorts, but it got hot a few times, between Tanya and petty pseudo-Old Testament God. Meanwhile, Tanya is leading pseudo-Germany to victory in pseudo-World War I. This premise is what helps the saga of Tanya the Evil story stand out from the other isekais out there, but Mushoku Tensei explicitly goes out of its way not to have an over-the-top premise. Well, until episode 8, but you get my point. Now, I cannot stress to you how important the slow start to the story is, as Mushoku Tensei takes its time to introduce a lot of the major characters in the show, and it gives you time to meet, understand, and root for its protagonist, Rudeus Greyrat. But before I go any further, spoilers for season 1 of the anime. If I could describe Rudeus in a few words, I would say that he is calculated, smart, frustrating, sympathetic, inspirational, and a complete pervert to the point that China banned Mushoku Tensei for violating mainstream values and morals and for being inappropriate for underage audiences. Basically, he's human. Well, as human as an anime character can be. Unlike most other isekai protagonists, Rudeus' previous life sticks with him in more ways than one. In his previous life, as he was growing up on Earth, he fell victim to the one rule that is true across all parts of life. Kids are assholes. Rudeus was mercilessly bullied when he was in high school. At one point, he was stripped naked and duct taped to his school's gate and humiliated in front of the entire school. Now you can imagine how traumatic that experience can be for anyone, let alone a teenager. After this incident, Rudeus never left his house and spent the next 15 years of his life hiding from the world, until the fateful day he was kicked out of his family's home and Truck-kun introduced himself. Rudeus is a very flawed character, but that's part of his charm for me. I've noticed that as I watch more and more anime, I really gravitate toward more realistic characters, whether it is because I see myself in a character or just depending on how a character is portrayed. For example, one of the characters I love most in all of anime is Miramura from Horimiya. I see a lot of my younger self in him, with us sharing a lot of the same insecurities and our overall life situations, especially for me at the time, being extremely similar. But let me stop myself before I start another video before I finish this one. As Rudeus' new life begins, you will see that he's not an idiot, but if anything, he's a scoundrel. He knows how to manipulate even the most unwinnable situations to his advantage. His pervert level is over 9,000, and let's not even get into the plethora of other issues that he brings with him from his past that would require a professional psychologist to even begin to tackle them. Despite all his flaws, Rudeus is still incredibly talented, and the fact that he is really trying to make the most out of his second chance at life is amazing to see. But I wish he would believe in himself more. This particular characteristic of his sticks with him throughout the entire story, as you will soon see as the story progresses. However, he's still relatable, and you want him to succeed as much as he does. And it's amazing how many shows try and fail to get this quality right in a character. Now, Rudeus cannot go on this journey of self-redemption alone, as Mushoku Tensei boasts a cast of characters that will put up against any isekai, let alone most anime I've watched.
Wait, you're telling me it's better than your top 3 isekai of Overlord, The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime, and ReZero?
In my honest opinion, I say yes, but at the very least, Mushoku Tensei should be held up in the same regard as those shows are. By the way, if you really think about it, The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime has the best representation of a non-binary character in media today. Just some food for thought. Also, can my man Subaru just fully get Ren back and give this man a Harlem Beach episode, please? The man deserves it.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So you're telling me that it's better than the Rising of the Shield Hero?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Also, if they delay Shield Hero one more time, I will fucking lose it. Fun fact, because of Shield Hero getting delayed for the first time, that was what got me to start reading manga.
What about Sword Art Online?
You serious?
Man, hold up. Sword Art Online really likes to use sexual assault as a plot device. What, you don't believe me? Here's an instance from every single season of the show.
Alright. There's no way it's better than Log Horizon.
I know it's controversial, but
Yes! Yes!
The Saga of Tanya the Evil?
didn't we already talk about this? Yes, but that little girl's terrifying.
Wise Man's Grandchild?
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man.
Konosuba? No Game, No Life? Gate?
Okay, I haven't seen those yet.
What about Inuyasha?
Oh yeah, Inuyasha is an isekai, huh? It's a toss-up for me.
Space Jam?
Okay, you got me there. That was funny. Also, this raised a question in my mind as I started making this video. So when someone gets isekai'd, which by definition is when a character is sent to another world, do they stay in the same universe or are they sent to another universe entirely? Because if they stay in the same universe, then the story of Superman, all 3 Thor Marvel movies, and the entire Assassin's Creed franchise are all isekais. Just something to think about. Let me get back on topic. Like I said before I went off the rails there a little bit, Mushoku Tensei boasts an excellent cast of characters from the woman who starts it all, Ryu's magic teacher and best girl in my opinion. I will not entertain any other suggestions. Roxy Magurdia, the sweet, innocent, lovable elf, and Rudius' childhood friend Sylphiette, who has entered my list of anime characters who must be protected at all costs. The mad dog herself, Eris Boreas Grey Rat, some relation. In many ways, she represents everything I hate about tsunderes, but as much as I wanted to continue hating her, she still won me over in the end. Well, until the warrior with a tragic past and Rudius' surrogate father, Ruijerd Superdia, who strives every day to reclaim his clan's honor. Rudius' actual father, Paul Notos Grey Rat, who
belongs to the streets.
But don't let his first impression fool you. He really has it when it counts, especially after disaster strikes. Rudius' mother Zenith, who has a heart of gold, and the ever-loyal family maid Lilia. Oh, and I can't forget the badass Sword King herself, Ghislaine. And those are just the characters introduced in Season 1, with even better characters coming in Season 2 and beyond. As you can tell by the last 13 minutes, I love Mushoku Tensei. And I'm not the only one, with Studio Bind already working on Season 3, and Season 2 is barely halfway done at the time of this recording. It's the first time in a long time I've been fully enraptured by a story, and it all started with me just watching the show on a whim just to pass the time. Once I finished the first season of the anime, I wanted more, which led me to the manga. And once I got caught up with the manga, I still wasn't satisfied, which led me to the web novel. And my journey did not stop there, as I found out that Mushoku Tensei's author has created a fantastic universe with 4 other books ready and available for everyone to read. You already know I put those on my reading list. The toughest part of making this video is the massive effort I have undertaken to keep myself from spoiling the entire story. But if there's one thing I would want you to take away from this video, it would be that above all else, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is a great story. And who doesn't love a great story? The amount of care shown by Studio Bind as they continue to craft this show is apparent, which is amazing since this is their first project as a studio. I promise you that there are few animes on the planet that come close to the level of excellence shown here by Mushoku Tensei. And with Season 2 completely surpassing my expectations, plus a possible movie on the way, I can't wait to see how the rest of Rudius' story is told. Hell, even the dub is exceptional. and you can watch Mushoku Tensei on Funimation and Hulu in the US. So if you're looking for a new anime to watch, and you're looking to jump into an immersive world with a variety of fantastic characters, or you're looking to give isekais another chance, Mushoku Tensei will not disappoint. Okay, wow, another video in the books. First things first, I want to thank the members of this very group for helping me out by lending their vocal talents to me for this video. I truly had a lot of fun putting this video together, and I could not have done it without you. The best part of making these videos is that it gives me another reason to rewatch the shows that I love. But now that I've made the 2 videos I really wanted to make, I don't know where to go from here. Maybe I should take requests. I've really been on an action and isekai kick lately, and I think it's time for me to feel again. So rejoice, Amber. I'm finally going to watch Fruit Basket. Is it Fruits Basket? I think it is Fruits Basket. She knows what I'm talking about. It's been staring at me in my queue on Crunchyroll, and I'm tired of it. However, before I go, I want to put you all on to an isekai that really caught my attention. The past 2 anime seasons have been really light on isekais, ironically, with Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy standing out, but I'm not here for that show. You should watch it though, especially now that it got approved for a 2nd season. It's basically a mix of The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime and Overlord, but not as much Overlord as you think, which is a disappointment because in the manga you definitely feel the Overlord vibes. I actually wanted to put you all onto the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. Okay, we really gotta talk about these long anime titles, man. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in... Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try this again. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat is about an old man who has lived his life as the world's greatest assassin. After getting laid off by his organization in a lethal way, he gets awakened by a goddess who wants to reincarnate him in a world of swords and magic and hire him, so to speak, because she wants to assassinate the hero of said world. However, there are a few conditions he has to abide by. Number 1, he has to kill the hero in 18 years. Number 2, he has to wait until the hero defeats the demon lord because no one else can. After picking out his skills, also, by the way, most people in the world, including our protagonist, can only have 5 skills at a time, at most. And the hero gets to pick his. Most people don't get that luxury. The hero gets 30 skills, and 5 of them are of the highest tier. So he really has his work cut out for him. He gets reincarnated as the eldest son of the noble family of assassins, Lu Tuathide. I really like how the show is progressing so far, and you can actually watch the first episode on YouTube right now by going to the Crunchyroll collection channel. I really like Lu as a character, plus the incredibly dangerous harem he's building, which is a complete departure for me because I do not like harems at all, but for some reason I'm willing to give this show a chance. However, I can't trust the goddess for some reason, and I can't imagine that she's telling the whole truth here. Also, Lu isn't the first person she sent into the world to kill the hero, but you'll see as you watch the show. But the rapper though was hilarious. Either way, I'm very interested to see how the story plays out, plus I want to see what the hero is all about. However, there's one thing you should know about this story. It was written by the same person who wrote Redo of a Healer, and you definitely see the Redo of a Healer vibes in some spots. So yeah, have the information how you will. But I will say the story is miles ahead of Redo of a Healer, to the point I'm surprised that the 2 stories were written by the same person. Also, yeah, I watched Redo of a Healer. I'm not proud of it. There you go, Tillman. I talked about it. Thank you all for watching.